In today's video, we are gonna take a look at if we can see any signs of theory of mind in ChatGPT. We're gonna be going through what is theory of mind. We're gonna go through some examples, some system prompts I've created for this theory of mind experiment, and what kind of theory of mind problems can we ask ChatGPT and what answers will we get. Let's take a look. First, let's just start by looking at what exactly is theory of mind. So you can see the origin here is from cognitive science and psychology. It's the ability to attribute mental states such as beliefs, intents, desires, emotions, knowledge to oneself and to others. And we have understanding, that is like recognizes that others have different beliefs, desires, intentions, and perspectives. So the applications here are that we can interpret and predict others' mental and emotional states. Also, we can predict what others might be thinking or feeling. So let me just give you an example of this so you can clearly see what this means. So in this example you see here we have a scenario. So let me just zoom in a bit on that so you can see Alice and Bob are in a room and Alice places her crayons in a blue box and leaves the room. While Alice is gone, Bob takes the crayons out of the blue box and puts them into a red box. Then Alice returns to the room. Then the question is like, where will Alice look for her crayons and where does Bob think that Alice will look for her crayons? So if we look at the answer without theory of mind, if you don't have a theory of mind, you might assume that Alice knows where the crayons has been moved to the red box because you know it. Therefore, you might incorrectly say that Alice will look in the red box. But if you answer this with a theory of mind, so you will understand that Alice has a different knowledge and beliefs than you do. She wasn't in the room when Bob moved the crayons. She would still believe that they are in the blue box. Therefore, Alice will look for the crayons in the blue box. So this is like a very simple example of how this works, right? So basically, every human has this. So at least I think so. If Bob has developed a theory of mind, he will also understand that Alice doesn't know about the switch. He would predict that Alice will look in the blue box because that's where she last saw them. So this example illustrates the essence of theory of mind, the ability to understand that different people have different perspectives, beliefs, and information. So I kind of like this example. So I think this is kind of where we go into ChatGPT and try to recreate this with a lot of different examples. So some I found online, but most of them I just made up myself. So yes, let's go have a look. Let's start by just showing you the system prompt I chose for this experiment. So I just went into custom instructions. I prompted with, you will be given a scenario with a question. I want you to provide an answer based on common sense. I want you to list each scenario and the assumptions or knowledge required to determine what answer is most likely correct. Then you will provide the most likely interpretation based on the information from the scenario and human psychology and give me your final answer. And that is all I use, so we just click save on that. So let's have a look at our first example. This is one I just made up myself. So you park your car outside the garage when you get home. After a while, you take your bike and ride to the gym for about an hour. During your time at the gym, your boyfriend moves the car inside the garage. When you ride home from the gym, you don't see your car outside the garage. What is your assumption here? So basically, my initial assumption here, I think, would be my girlfriend moved the car inside the garage. Like, pretty much that's like my first thing on the list. Further down below, probably has to be someone stole the car. Yeah. But like, the highest probability is that she moved the car inside the garage. So you can see we have the scenario just repeated here. Assumptions or knowledge required. So you are aware that you parked your car outside the garage before leaving for the gym, yes. Your boyfriend has access to the car keys and is capable of moving the car. That's most likely because if you live together, he probably has access to the keys. Your boyfriend is home during the time at the gym. Yeah, we know that. The car is not visible and its initial parking spot when you return. So here is like most likely interpretations. Based on information from the story, given that the car is no longer where you initially parked it, your boyfriend is home, it's reasonable to assume that he moved the car. Since he has access to the car keys and capability to move it, this will be most straightforward explanation for the car's absence. And based on psychology, humans often look for the simplest explanation for an event, Occam's razor. In this case, the simplest explanation is that someone you live with and trust, your boyfriend, moved the car. It's less likely to assume that the car was stolen or towed if you know your boyfriend is home and has access to the car. Yeah. So the final answer is that your boyfriend moved the car into the garage while you were at the gym. So yeah, kind of agree with that. I think that is a big pass because we know that he moved it. But in this example, she wouldn't know. So yeah, perfect. Okay, so let's look at a bit of a different example. Okay, so let's do another example. This is also one I just made up myself. Your friend Joy lost her father in an accident 3 days ago. You and Joy did plan a weekend in Las Vegas next week 2 months ago. You have not spoken to Joy other than giving your condolences in the last 5 days. What are your assumptions about the planned trip? So this is kind of like, you kind of know that when something this tragic happened, you kind of know that the trip is off, right? But does a large language model know that? Let's find out. Okay, so repeat the scenario. We have some assumptions. Grieving is a complex emotional process that varies from person to person, but it's generally a time-consuming and emotional draining experience. The loss of a close family member, especially a parent, is significant. Yeah, that's true. Social activities like trips, especially to a lively place, I like that, to Las Vegas, are usually associated with fun, relaxation, and enjoyment, emotions that may be stark in contrast to what Joy is currently experiencing. That's good. It's generally considered empathetic and respectful to give people some space, time to grieve, especially so soon after a loss. I like that. So here's like the most likely interpretation. Given the gravity of the situation, the most likely scenario is that Joy will not be in a state of mind to go on a trip to Las Vegas next week. She'll probably be involved in mourning, attending memory services, spending time with family. Even though she wanted to take a break from grieving, social expectation may be for her to continue participating in family events and rituals. Yeah. It would be emotional challenging for her to switch from a state of grieving to enjoying a vacation. Yeah, I like this answer. This is very good. So the final answer is that it's safe to assume that the planned trip to Las Vegas will most likely be postponed or cancelled. I think this was a very good example. This is just something that people knows just from experience, I guess, or social norms, right? If someone is grieving, they probably not want to go to a trip to Las Vegas. That just seems strange. And even though you haven't spoken to her about it, you kind of just know that, right? So yeah, I think that was good. Let's do another one. Okay, so this is also something I just made up. So you have felt some symptoms like stomach pain, trouble going to the toilet. You decide to search on Google to try to find out what's wrong with you. After searching for a while, you found out that the symptoms align with stomach cancer. What are most likely your assumptions now? So this is like a classical self-diagnostic problem. You search on Google, you see cancer, you kind of freak out. So let's see if this, okay, ChatGPT here kind of knows this human psychology thing. So yeah, we just repeat that. So assumptions, Google search accuracy, variety of symptoms, medical expertise, self-diagnosis via the internet does not replace, that's true. When people read about serious conditions that match their symptoms, they may experience heightened anxiety or hypochondria. I haven't heard that. Even if the symptoms are actually due to less serious condition. Stomach cancer is a little rare compared to other more common conditions, such, yeah, could sort of similar symptoms. Yeah, irritable bowel syndrome, I don't know about that. So let's have a look at the most likely interpretation here. Based on psychology, when individuals find information that they suggest may have a severe illness, the immediate emotional response can often be one of anxiety or fear. This is sometimes termed hypochondria. That must be like a thing from hypochondria, I think, where people may overestimate the severity of their condition based on internet searches. The anxiety can be heightened because of the stakes, potentially having cancer, are extremely high. So the final answer here is quite interesting, actually. It's natural to feel concerned. Okay, the most sensible course of action is to consult a health professional. Okay, but answer was most likely. It didn't give me an answer. So the most likely assumption that you might make, given the psychology of health-related anxiety, is that you might become anxious and worried that you have stomach cancer. This is due to symptoms aligned with what you found online, even though those symptoms can be indicative of a range of other conditions. I'm really impressed by that, actually, because that is a very human thing to do. Like, if you look at statistics, why? Why would you think that? Like, it's like probably like 99% chance that is something else, right? So yeah, really impressed by that. I didn't quite expect that to happen. But yeah, impressive. So this was done on advanced data analysis. So I mixed it up a bit between GPT-4 and advanced data analysis model. Yeah, very interesting. I think we're gonna do one more, and then we kind of want to wrap this up. Okay, so this is just a classic loss aversion problem I found online. Tom is a 20-year-old college student from LA. One day his roommate offers him a bet. The bet involves flipping a coin. Whether if it comes up heads, he will lose $200. But if it comes up tail, he will win $250. He's given the option to take the bet or not. So option A is Tom takes the bet. B is Tom does not take the bet. Which option is most likely to be chosen by Tom? Okay, so we just repeat the scenario. And here are some assumptions. So it's Tom's financial situation is not specified. That could greatly influence his decision. Okay. The bet is framed as a 50-50. That is correct. There's no indication that Tom is particularly risk averse or risk seeking. Yeah, that's important. There's no information about how Tom perceives gambling or betting. Some people are inherently against it due to moral, religious, or other reasons. Social dynamic between Tom and his roommate. If they have a trusting relationship, Tom might not be more likely to engage in that. Okay. Tom's age suggests that they have some life experience, but doesn't necessarily indicate his propensity for risk-taking. He's a college student, which might imply that he has limited financial resources. But this is not definitive. Okay, so most likely interpretation. Given that he's a college student, he may be more cautious about losing 200, as college students are often on a tighter budget. Okay, on the other hand, the bet offers a positive expected value. Yeah, that's true. So like, you always want to take this bet, of course, if you can afford to lose it. Because it is plus EV, right? You can gain 250 if you win. So it's an easy calculation, right? Psychologically, losses often loom larger than gains, a phenomenon known as loss aversion. Therefore, the potential to a loss of 200 might weigh more heavily on his mind than the potential of gain 250, even if the EV is positive. So the final answer here is Tom might not take the bet, prioritizing avoidance of potential loss of the opportunity to gain. Yeah, so this is correct, because this is a very, I think there's been a lot of studies on this. Humans always feel worse about losing 200 than gaining 250. So that's just a very common psychological situation. It hurts more to lose 200 than it brings you joy to win 250, right? So yeah, I think it got basically everything we asked right. A bit surprised, actually. Okay, so my takeaway from this is kinda, yeah, I'm kinda surprised that it kinda solved every problem I gave it, what I think is a correct way. Of course, there are no 100% answer here, because it's like, you can't be 100% sure that Joy wouldn't take the trip to Las Vegas. But kind of like my intuition, my theory of mind would say that she wouldn't do that. So I kind of agree with all the conclusions GPT-4 came with on all the questions we asked. And the other thing is that I created all of those except the loss one or the bet one. So they couldn't be in the training data. But yeah, I'm gonna leave a link to a paper on theory of mind that I have read if you want to dive deeper into this. Other than that, hope you found it interesting. Let me know in the comments if you have tried this out yourself, if you have other results. But yeah, thank you for tuning in. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.